Hey y'all, it's Bren. I have a different background today. I'm in my office, so I just didn't feel like going down and getting all set up downstairs, even though I know it's probably nicer to look at the candles and everything in the background. In fact, this is a very boring background because this is a new desk, and so I had nothing on it. I actually put that candle there for this video, and this stuff I like moved it over. It was back there, so I'm like, oh, let me put a couple of things in the background. I need to put something on this wall. I don't know. I need to figure something out. But I just thought I would film up here because this is where I hang out and it just felt more chill. And speaking of chill, today I have a Berliner Slice Huckleberry pastry style Berliner Weiss ale with huckleberries. This is probably literally the only drink I'm gonna have all weekend. But I worked today. We had this big event. It's Saturday. I usually don't work Saturdays, but sometimes we have events, and I didn't plan anything for afterwards because I thought I would be, exhausted. But on the way home, I was kind of like, I kind of feel like going out and getting a drink or something. But of course, because I didn't make any plans, everyone is busy. So I thought I would just hang out with you all. So I'll let this settle. Not the best pour I've ever done. I have my Andrew McMahon glass here today because it's relevant. And I'll get to that in a moment. I want to talk a little bit. So the whole video is not going to be about this. Look at these little baby hairs. God, go away. Hate those. It's because of my thyroid disorder. My hair's always falling out and growing back, and then I get these little tiny hairs. And Roscoe's ripping up a cat toy if you hear something in the background. This is normal for my house and the happenings and going-ons here. I want to start by talking a little bit about the new Taylor Swift album, just a little. And I want to talk about it kind of in generalities, not really give like a review of the specifics. You all know that, well, I don't know, I shouldn't say that. Like, I like Taylor. I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not, hugely into her. I haven't been listening for a long time or anything. I mean, I'm aware of her. Of course, I live on this planet. And over the years, there are songs of hers that I've thought were good, and if I caught them on the radio, cool or whatever, but I never really purposefully put her on. I kind of got into the Midnight's album a little bit. There were some songs on that album that I did really like. But that's just not my genre. Pop has never been my genre. I'm more of a pop punk emo ska girl. So she hasn't too much been on my radar. So I'm not here to say she's amazing or not. But I listened to the new album, and what I do really like about her is I think what everyone likes about her and what people say is her biggest talent, which is her songwriting ability, that she's a storyteller and she's a great lyricist. Her voice, it's not bad. Some people just want to hate on her. They say she has a bad voice. She doesn't have if she had a bad voice, she would not be so popular. But yeah, she's not a singing phenom, she's not like Whitney Houston or anything, but she's like an 8 out of 10. I don't know. And her songs and her catalog, some are for me and some aren't. I'm not a country person at all. I generally don't really like ballads. I like more upbeat music usually because I'm usually listening to music when I'm with friends or getting ready to go out, that kind of thing. Not usually sitting around crying to songs anymore. I left that behind in my super emo days, right? I really hate that song, Shake It Off, though. That is the most annoying song. It's like her worst song. I was pretty disappointed by her song with Brendan Urie, too, because I love Brendan Urie, and I find that song to be incredibly annoying. But I like some of her songs. But the thing about Taylor is that her lyrics, sometimes they just hit. She has this ability to take feeling and emotion and just put it into words that make you go like, oh my God, I've felt that. I've been there. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think it is just me. And I think that's why she has such a big fan base. But as someone who is a little older than her, but has also been in and out of tons of relationships and been kind of shamed for that and wondered, is it me? Am I the problem? Is it me? And, just has been through a lot of heartbreak more than most people. I hear so many of her songs and just can relate. So, I think that, first of all, the thing that she said about it, I screenshot her tweet or whatever, because this I related to. An anthology of new works that reflect events, opinions, and sentiments from a fleeting and fatalistic moment in time, one that was both sensational and sorrowful in equal measure. This period of the author's life is now over, the chapter closed and boarded up. There's nothing to avenge, no scores to settle once wounds have healed. Upon further reflection, a good number of them turned out to be self-inflicted. The writers of the firm belief that our tears become holy in the form of ink on a page. Once we have spoken our saddest story, we can be free of it. So she's basically saying here, I don't feel like this anymore. I'm not still hung up on these people. I'm not still sad. I've moved on. But this reflects like a moment in my life. And sometimes you just need to get that out. You need to put it on the page or write it in a song and put it out into the world. And then you're really free of it at that point. And I just thought, it just reminds me of like what I said about why I made a big long video about Pete, why I made a video about Eat, why I have this channel. I'm not as talented as Taylor Swift, so I can't put these into wonderful songs or anything. I'm just talking on the internet to like 20 people about it. But like, I don't know, sometimes you just want to get the story out, and it doesn't mean you're not over those things. It's just like, this is something that happened to me and I'm putting it out in the world. So I related to that. A lot of people were surprised that the album is a lot about Matty Healy from the 1975, because everyone thought it was going to be about Joe Alwyn, and some of the songs are about Joe, but like a lot more of them than I expected are about Matt. And a lot of people are here on the internet saying things like, I can't believe she would write that many songs about someone she only dated for a month. And I guess they did date, and I don't even know why I know all of this stuff. I just read a couple news articles and here we are. But, I guess they dated a little bit in 2014, or they knew each other back then or whatever. It just didn't work out. And then they kind of had a fling again. But regardless, what I have to say about that is like the length of time you date someone really does not correlate with how emotional and intense the relationship is. It doesn't correlate with how devastated you can be with when it ends. In fact, I think sometimes the shorter relationships are even more devastating when they end, because you didn't get a chance to like get sick of them, get annoyed with them leaving their dirty socks on the floor, or hate going to their family gatherings, or whatever it is, that's your thing. Like, you didn't have a chance to see how it was going to go. If things end when you're still like in that new phase of being madly in love with someone, that can be, even harder. And I've been in a 7-year relationship with someone I was married to, a 3-year relationship, and another 7-year relationship. And I don't know that any of them hurt as bad when they ended as like that 4-month relationship I had with Jack. If you handed me a notebook and told me to write 31 songs, I could write a couple about some of those long-term relationships, but I could write a lot about just that 4-month relationship. And when Taylor says something about like, you chose drugs over me, man, that hit hard too, because I've been in that situation. And sometimes you want to be with someone so bad and you feel like you're soulmates with them and you really feel like you're connecting, but there's this other thing that you can't do anything about that's in the way. And she says things like, he said I would be better off. Have been told that too. There's just so many things that I get. But yeah, I think in all, like, it makes total sense to me that she could write 20-something songs about a 1-month relationship if it was that intense and meaningful, of course. But the last thing I want to talk about is my favorite song on the album. I guess it's my favorite, The Black Dog. Okay, first of all, she name checks the starting line, which is amazing. That in and of itself. But this is another one that's about Matt Healy, because I guess like his band, like, he loved the starting line and his band covered the starting line. The starting line was a pop punk band on Drive Thru Records in the early 2000s. They were on the same record label as Newfound Glory and Something Corporate and a bunch of other bands that I really love. I listened to the starting line. I saw them in concert. I have one of their t-shirts. And just the fact that the song called The Black Dog, a little interesting. It just feels like I could have written this song, because I have said before, if I ever open a brewery, I'm going to call it like Black Dog Brewing or something, because I have black dogs. I know that's not why she calls it The Black Dog, but it was a coincidence. So what I like about the song is, I also connected with an ex, Pete, over an old 2000s pop punk band. Something Corporate was the one that we used to like listen to, and we would go see the lead singer, because the band Something Corporate was not together anymore, although they're on a reunion tour right now. But, they had broken up, but he was still making music. And if you went to see one of his shows, he would still play some of the old Something Corporate songs. So we saw him a lot. Like, we went, I lost track. We probably saw him at least 10 times. Maybe even more. And we really connected over that music. And then when we, of course, parted because he couldn't choose between me and Emily. He got with Emily, who's 15 years younger, and I know he took her to see Andrew, and I asked him, like, does she know any Something Corporate songs? And he was like, no, not really. You know, she knows some of his newer stuff is all. And I'm like, yeah, because she was like 4 years old when they were a band making music. But Taylor says in the song, you're at the Black Dog, this is a bar, and the starting line comes on, and you jump up, but she's too young to know this song. And I'm just like, oh my God, like she's in my head. And anyway, that's what I like about her. It's not the kind of music that I'm gonna listen to in the car or put on when I'm like hanging out. You know, this is really like ballady music. It's a vibe. It's not really my thing, but I appreciate the songwriting. And there's so many lines. The first line that caught me when I was listening to the album was from the So Long London, which is about Joe Alwyn, where she says, what does she say? I wrote this one down too. I'm pissed off you let me give you all that youth for free. And I was like, oh, because I feel that way about so many of my exes too. Like I wasted my youth and my good days on them. Man, oh man. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about Taylor. But yeah, some of her songs just bring me back, man. Anyway, hopefully I'll see Something Corporate. They should be on this reunion tour playing Riot Fest. It's not officially announced yet because they can't announce it. But on their tour days, there's a big hole where Chicago should be. It makes sense. I think they'll be there. And I'll get to see them. So yeah, what else is going on? You know, I have no idea if Ian watched that video that I made about him because he hasn't said it. But he has alluded to my channel a couple of times since then. So I think that maybe he has, but we don't really talk about it. I still see him. He still comes to the trivia night. We are just so definitely not together. He's just someone I hang out with now, and I really have no opinion about it. I'm sick of having an opinion about it. I think most of what's going on with me now is honestly like health related, which is so boring, and you guys don't want to hear about it. But I will tell you how it's going with the Wegovy so far. So yes, I did get the Wegovy prescription filled. Y'all know I was on Ozempic last year, that my insurance wouldn't cover anymore. Now I got the Wegovy. And I did 4 weeks at the starter dose, and it was kind of a lot like last time where it gave me this like intense intestinal pain just in this one spot on my right side. And it was getting so bothersome that I made a telehealth appointment with my doctor's nurse practitioner because it was like the soonest thing I could get. My actual doctor is booked out 6 months for an appointment. So I showed her on the video call like exactly where it hurt, and she's like, yeah, that's your intestines. I'm gonna prescribe an ultrasound. We'll take a look at what's going on there. So I go to this ultrasound, and the tech is like, well, ultrasound doesn't look at your appendix or your intestines. For that you need a colonoscopy. And I was like, well, this is what they sent me for. So she does the ultrasound. She doesn't really look at that part at all. At the very end, she goes down to where I said it was hurting and was like, oh, yep, nothing down there but intestines. And then they call me with the results of the ultrasound, and they're like, yeah, gallbladder looks good, pancreas looks good. So she thinks it's probably just like gas. And I'm like, okay, it's not though, because this is not just like a gas bubble. I know what that feels like. This feels like part of my intestines in the same exact spot on my right side. Feels like it swells up whenever I take one of the semaglutide shots. And then it will feel like swollen and kind of painful. And then like the next day, it'll almost feel like it's deflated and it's kind of like bruised and sore. That doesn't sound like just gas to me. But the reason I'm not freaking out about it is because it's gotten better now. Like it's sort of subsided. So I'm hoping that my body's getting used to the medication and it's not going to be a problem anymore, but I don't know. So I lost, getting texts. Don't mean to do that. So I lost like 4 pounds the first week, which water weight, whatever, but I didn't gain them back. Then I lost like 2 pounds. Then I lost like 1.5 pounds. And on the 4th week, I didn't lose anything, but I didn't up my dose. I was going to up my dose week 3, but I got sick. And then the next week I was on antibiotics because I got bronchitis, totally unrelated illness. So I was like, let me just not like double my sickness and illness by upping my dose. But I upped my dose week 5, which is this week. And it just seems like it's not working. upped it to the 0.5 dose, and I am still like hungry and eating and not losing weight this week. So I don't know why it's not seeming to work. So in total, I am only down 7.5 pounds, which I don't know if it's worth all of that I'm going through for that. This isn't helping, but also it is helping. So that's a lie. So many of you guys see me drinking one beer on this channel. You think I'm like on my sixth one. I'm not. Literally just got home and decided to have one beer because it's Saturday. So I'll keep you posted on how it's going. I still have plenty because she gave me a 3-month supply of 1 milligram, and I've been splitting it up into smaller doses. I'm not even sure when I can refill, if I want to get more of that dose or if I should have her call me in the next time. I don't really know. But yeah, my whole life is just like that. Ian said something to me the other night. He goes, I bet you already are online dating. And I was just like, that's so funny because I'm so not. But it's not because I like don't want to meet people and get out there. It's because I like don't want to go on online dates until I lose weight. So whatever. The summer is going to be, I don't know, probably pretty boring. Probably a pretty boring summer for me. What else is there to update you on? Let's see. Oh, you know what I found the other day? Oh my God, I love this. This Southern Lemon Chiffon. I don't know what year this was from, but it was only $5. And it was before they started doing like the little 1-ounce hand creams, and it's not exactly like a travel size cream. It's a big hand cream. How many ounces is this? 2. And this is just the best lemon scent they've ever done. Right now they've got the lemon pound cake out, and that's okay. But this is just, it's a perfectly sour lemon, but also has like a creamy vanilla whip feel, but it doesn't have any like perfumey notes in it like a lot of their other lemons. It's just, oh, it's so good. But I'm using it now because I'm like, I don't want it to like go bad. This was probably from, oh, I don't know. If I had to guess, maybe like 2015 or something like that. Like it's maybe 16. I don't know. It's an old one though, but it's so delicious. I feel like I want to chat, but I don't know what to talk about actually. I just kind of wanted to like pop on and talk about Taylor Swift for a minute, what have you. But I guess my life is just not exciting and I just don't really have anything going on. What do y'all think I should put in the background if I'm going to keep filming up here? I don't have to even be at this angle, but the alternatives are not great. It would be like the door. Like, I don't know. Maybe I could put something on the wall that would make that work. My trash can blew away the other day. It was a really windy day and I came home and my trash can was like nowhere to be found, and I drove around the neighborhood and I can't locate it. Yeah, so that's that's that. I don't have a trash can. I do. I have like the big ones that the city gives you, but I have to pull my car out of the garage to like get it out to the curb, so that's why I didn't use it before. The thing about this new office that I have is that I am hanging out with Clover way more. Let's see if you can see Clover. We have to go all the way around. All the way around. Hey, kitty. Meow, meow, meow. There she is. So she's like around a lot more. I'm balancing on the computer right now on a copy of Wuthering Heights. Man, this is a lot of rambling. Well, some of you want me to post more, and this is why I don't, because I don't really have anything to talk about. I don't even have any, like, new stuff from Bath & Body Works to talk about. I've bought a couple things here and there, but, like, nothing worth making a video about. So this is why I don't have that many videos. My life is just pretty calm. Anyway, I guess I'll go, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll clean my house. That sounds exciting. You guys want to go for a walk? It's hard for me to walk them by myself because they're insane. But they have new harnesses now. I got them harnesses, so it's a little easier to control them. So I could probably get that going before it gets dark out. Okay, let me know what you think I should put, like, back here or whatever, you know. Sorry if you hate the new background. It's not, I don't know. I'll probably still film downstairs sometimes, but this is just a little easier for me. So I will let you go. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.